Welcome back to Wise Wolf. I'm your host Kokil, and today on this new moon, a time traditionally associated with new beginnings and looking inward, we are stepping into the threshold. In our last episode, Under the Light of the Full Moon, we looked at the cycles of life. Today we turn our gaze inward towards something that many fear, the concept of death. But we'll look at it through the lens of Vedanta and non-dual philosophy. 2 weeks ago, under the full moon, we were asking what the mind divides that awareness doesn't. Tonight we go a level deeper. Before the light, before the form, into what the earth does when no one is watching. Let's begin. There is no moon tonight. The sky is dark. But what's actually happening is that the moon is there in its orbit, but positioned directly between the earth and the sun. Its reflected light falls on the side facing away from us, and so we get to see nothing. What we do get on a clear new moon night is the deep field, the deep sky. Without the moon's reflected light washing out the sky, stars become visible in numbers and depth that a full moon night hides entirely. The Milky Way shows up. It appears and you stop looking at the night sky as a backdrop and start feeling it as a depth. You're not observing it, you're inside it. The old astronomical name for this position in the sky is compared to the womb, the vessel containing darkness from which new forms emerge. Tonight's sky holds the primal I am, the existence before it has a name, before it has a quality, a story, before it has become anything yet. The question to ask on a night like tonight is that what are you willing to let go of so that something new can emerge? Beneath your feet right now, if you're standing anywhere near a healthy ecosystem, there is a network of mycorrhizal fungi, fine white threads thinner than a human hair, running through the soil for hundreds of meters in every direction. These threads connect plant root systems to each other, transferring water, carbon, sugars, and chemical signals between trees and plants across distances that would take you several minutes to walk. A tree under stress sends a chemical signal through the network. Neighboring trees receive it and begin adjusting their own chemistry in response. The forest has a nervous system. It runs underground, in the dark, in the slow time that has nothing to do with what's happening at the surface. In mid-April, the forest canopy hasn't fully closed yet. Leaves are still opening. This means that right now is the last window, the last few weeks before autumn, in which direct sunlight reaches the forest floor. Everything that needs light is using it urgently and quietly now. And everything that needs the dark is also running simultaneously underground, both at once, neither interrupting the other. And in your own body, melatonin, the hormone governing sleep, immune function, and cellular repair, is produced only in genuine darkness, not low light, real light. The body has processes that require the absence of light to run. Darkness is not a deprivation, it's a condition, one the body has always known how to use when we let it. When we talk about death, we aren't talking about the end. We're talking about a transformation, a transition, a shift in consciousness. Today we explore death not as a wall, but as a doorway. In the philosophy of Vedanta, there is a concept of Atman, the true eternal self. The Bhagavad Gita offers one of the most profound metaphors for physical death. As a person sheds worn-out garments and wears new ones, Likewise, at the time of death, the soul casts off its worn-out body and enters into a new one. Think about that for a moment. If you are not the body, but the consciousness experiencing the body, then the dissolution of the physical form is merely the shedding of a garment that no longer serves its purpose. According to the non-dual philosophy, there is no other. There is only the singular existence. Death, in this view, is simply the movement of energy from one state of experience to another. When we speak of death as a doorway, we are bridging the gap between the physical reality we inhabit and the philosophical reality of non-duality. Often the fear of physical death is really the fear of the ego mind, the idea that I am this specific persona, this history, this collection of memories. Non-duality invites us to experience small deaths daily. Every time you let go of an outdated belief, an identity, or an attachment, you are practicing the very transition that physical death requires. Physical death is the ultimate collapse of the boundary between the observer and the observed. In the physical state, we feel separate. In the non-dual state, we realize that the person who dies never truly existed as a separate entity to begin with. It was always and will always be the infinite. The Vedic tradition has a name for what exists before anything appears. Avyakta, the unmanifest. Not nothing, not a void, something more like potential that hasn't yet chosen a shape. Upanishads describe what remains when you follow awareness inward past every object, past sensation, past thought, past the sense of being someone with a history. What's left, according to the philosophy, is not emptiness. It's the ground from which all those things arose. Beyond the senses is the mind. Beyond the mind is the intellect. Beyond the intellect is the great self. Beyond the great self is the unmanifest. The direction is always inward, not towards something distant, but towards something closer than your own breath. The awareness that was aware before this breath began and will always be aware when this breath ends. In the Upanishadic tradition, there's a practice called Atma Vichar, self-inquiry. Not a review of your experiences, not an inventory of your beliefs, just one question, turned in one direction. What is the awareness that is aware right now? You can't answer it with a thought. Any answer is another object appearing inside the awareness. The inquiry doesn't look for an answer. It turns toward what is looking. There's an image that appears across several Upanishads. Consciousness described as a fire burning inside a cave. Not the fire people gather around, not the fire that warms or announces itself. A fire in the interior, in the dark, burning without witness. The new moon is this, the light that doesn't reach you, the phase that doesn't perform, the presence that continues whether or not anyone is looking up. The forest's underground network doesn't stop because there's nothing to see. The seed doesn't abandon germination because it can't show you a shoot yet. Nature has never once suggested that the dark phase is the problem. Only we have. Since we're sitting here under the new moon, I want to leave you with an invitation. This cycle is about planting seeds in the dark, fertile soil of the unknown. Instead of fearing the end of something, a job, a relationship, or even our physical time, ask yourself, what is this death asking me to transform into? When you remove the identity you've been clutching, what remains? And what is the eternal you? If you can, sit in the dark for a few minutes after this ends. not to meditate or achieve anything, just to let the dark be the dark and notice that you are still here inside it, aware, the fire still burning. The next episode arrives on full moon, May 1st. We come back into the light, but the light will mean something different if you've spent time in what holds it. Until then, trust the underground. Thank you for joining me for this second episode of our exploration. Whether you are walking through a literal transition or a metaphorical one, remember, you are not the traveler, you are the path itself. I'm your host Kokil, and this has been the Wise Wolf Podcast. Until the next moon, stay present. Then was not non-existent nor existent. There was no realm of air, no sky beyond it. What stirred? Where? In whose protection? Was there water? The deep abyss? Death was not then, nor was there aught immortal. No sign was there the day and night's divider. That one thing, breathless, breathed by its own nature, apart from it was nothing whatsoever. Who really knows? Who will here proclaim it? Whence was it produced? Whence is this creation? The gods came afterwards. With the creation of this universe, who then knows whence it has arisen? Perhaps it formed itself, or perhaps it did not. The one who looks down on it from the highest heaven, only that one knows. Or perhaps even that one does not know.